There it is. There it is. Okay, now I need to take a deep breath. You guys got us, right? Thank God. I know. I got to catch my breath. I just wanted to get here. Copy all. Well, I can tell you it's been a very, very dangerous and extremely fast pursuit. They've been chasing that van right there. Now, the original want, I can't tell you, but since we have been listening to it, making an effort to get here, this vehicle has crashed into several deputy vehicles, has almost hit a couple of on sidewalks, and now you can see it. We're on the freeway. Let me bring up that speedometer for you so everybody can keep up and watch. They're over 80 miles an hour. Now, what the original want is, I don't know. And also, I have to put it out there, we don't know exactly who is behind that wheel. Now, they've actually have said the words her a couple of times. I don't know if that is a female or it's just they're just saying her like that van. But the sheriff's helicopter overhead been making the calls, and this vehicle has been extremely reckless. This is probably the longest it's been going in one direction since we've been listening to it. Getting up here onto the freeway, this vehicle was on streets for the longest time, and again, had made contact with several vehicles, and most of those deputy vehicles, meaning smashing into them as it was continuing to flee out here. Right now, we're getting into the Commerce area. Now we're on the southbound 5 freeway.
Wait, what is that hanging on the side of that van? Can you make it out? Is that just a part of the mirror?
I would say that's it's probably the mirror.
Okay.
I would venture to say that that's the mirror that we're seeing right there. We can stay on these tight shots. It's just at these high speeds. And the fact that this van has collided with so many other vehicles, I'm just going to get a little bit wider just in case something happens. And also, when this does come to an end, don't be too surprised if we stay with a much wider shot, because this vehicle has several assault with a deadly weapon on multiple deputies out here. That vehicle is slowing down a little bit, doing some swerving. That's probably because it's getting blocked. But again, you can see the sheriff's deputies are behind it. I believe that's going to be East LA in the lead. The sheriff's helicopter overhead. But original want, I'm not sure if our assignment desk can pick that up. That is really what I'm curious about. I don't want to give away too much, but I can tell you that there's actually another agency's helicopter nearby up high. I'm wondering if this vehicle was under surveillance, and then they tried to make a traffic stop on it, and originally what this person might have been wanted for. You can see that driving on the wrong side of the road right there, and the speeds are continuing to pick up.
This is so dangerous, and it's interesting, this vehicle we're looking at, it almost looks like a work-type van, but obviously it could just be somebody's kind of van that they use as well besides work. But it's also kind of interesting. We're looking at the driver making weird motions with the steering wheel. I don't know if their steering is kind of out of whack, but constantly going like very little movements left and right. It's just, we don't really see that often.
I'm not sure if that, we just took a peek in there. I'm just going to say that that's a guy driving that van right there. But maybe this is because of that person's demeanor. Maybe they're not all there with us right now, but or possibly it has something to do with the van. Like I said, it has made contact with several deputies' vehicles and some other vehicles as well. So maybe there's a little bit of damage to the mechanism right there. I'm going to go a little bit wider, just down.
Oh, it's freezing.
Well, but you can see that van continuing to drive very recklessly, went through a red light right there, and it's continuing on. We made our way into the Southgate area now, and, our assignment desk just saying the original want on this vehicle, is just going to be reckless driving, and that seems to continue.
Yeah, definitely this individual is driving recklessly, that is for sure. We see that the window went up. It seems like that person rolled the window up. You mentioned sheriff's deputies following this vehicle. What other agencies do we know of that are on the pursuit of this vehicle?
Right now, it is just going to be the sheriff's department. You can see one of their black and whites getting much closer. Now, are they going to try to pit it? Are they? I think they actually tried to block this van in at one point at that traffic circle in the city of Commerce over there, very near the Citadel. And the van, like I said, basically wiggled its way out or rammed a couple of officers' vehicles to get out of the way. 70 miles an hour on surface streets out here. This is, excuse me, my voice is cracking because I really am having a hard time just watching what is going on here. Gage is a major road, if there's no doubt about it. You can see and traffic seems to be light. But again, at those high speeds, anybody comes up on a red light or anything like that, this could become very tragic very quickly. But you got an idea what the sheriff's department is dealing with. This is a very dangerous individual, and of course, the officers or deputies are trying to get that vehicle to stop safely. And the only thing they can do right now is lights and sirens, keep behind it, and just hopefully that the public hears those sirens before that van gets too close.
It's not very busy down below, though. I am noticing that the surface streets are a bit wide open, which is good given the circumstances.
Very good considering the circumstances, because when we watch these things, law enforcement, look at that wrong side of the road right there again, and speeding up. This is just, it's so difficult to watch sometimes. Continuing on, you have some road construction coming up. I wonder what that is actually going to be. Getting into that left turn lane. Are we making a left turn? Nope. We're going to stay straight, cutting that person off. And these are the types of maneuvers that all law enforcement, when they're down there, they actually do not want to see this. Believe me, they want to bring these things to an end safely. And when these drivers do these ridiculous moves that put so many people in danger, including the driver of that van, this is when it becomes such an issue on, are we going to stay behind it? Are we going to stay in pursuit? What's going to go on?
Stu, we actually have Gigi on the ground with more information on this pursuit. Gigi, what do you know?
Well, this pursuit has now been going on for about 25 minutes. The driver of that white transit van, believed to be a female, is wanted for a hit and run. She is believed to be under the influence. Now, LA County Sheriff's deputies have been pursuing her through East LA. This has been on and off the street. She has had multiple misses with deputies, and we understand she may have just ran into a deputy. An ambulance has been called to treat that Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy. Now, the Sheriff's Department is in contact with the California Highway Patrol, who may soon be taking this pursuit over. This pursuit, given the severity, the nature of the charges this driver is now facing, will not be canceled. We're talking about hit and run. We're talking about multiple narrow misses with pedestrians. At one point, one deputy, the chopper was above tracking. We're talking about the sheriff's chopper, of course, was tracking this pursuit and watched as the driver appeared to intentionally drive towards a sheriff deputy in their patrol car, narrowly missing them. That deputy got out of the way, but again, an ambulance has just been called for another deputy. Now, speeds have been kept to about 45 to 55 miles an hour, but this is extremely dangerous because this driver not only is suspected of being under the influence, but we've watched as she has run multiple red lights, has narrowly hit pedestrians that were crossing the street, never slowing down, never stopping for them, narrowly missing them. This is extremely dangerous, and this suspect, again, wanted. If you're just tuning in to Good Day LA, this pursuit started in the East Los Angeles area with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. The driver is believed to be a female. Right now, they believe, and you can see it appears that her driver's side mirror is now hanging down, and that just shows you that she hit something. Earlier, we got several reports that she had hit several other cars, innocent people, during this pursuit. And again, an ambulance call. Now, you see she's turning into a driveway right now, and she may just get stuck here right now. She is turning into a driveway. Stu in Skyfox has a better view. He is above it all. Stu, I'll let you take it right now.
Thank you, Gigi. Thank you for that information. And taking a look at this, that was just a laundromat. We just went right through that laundromat, continuing on, and the sheriff's department still right behind it. Those deputies are keeping as close as they can, lights and sirens, just trying to warn the public about what's going on. There's the sheriff's ship. That's the one that's down low. That's the one that's going to be keeping the eye on that vehicle. And you can see they're now going into another parking lot right there, making their way through. This van has actually used a lot of parking lots in the past, which is very dangerous because, you know, these are stores. People are basically looking for parking, not expecting somebody to be barreling through there at speeds of 30, maybe more miles an hour into another parking lot as we continue on. As far as the units on the ground, the deputies, they have backed off right now. Sheriff's Department, they are up above it. You can see that sheriff's ship right there. And a near miss again, making their way through another one of these parking lots out here. I would venture to say this is probably going to be a supermarket. That one I wouldn't say close. That pedestrian didn't even know what was going on. Back out onto the major road out here, and the pursuit continues. Very dangerous this afternoon. There is no other words for it. If you know somebody that might be in this area, like on Slauson or in the Southgate area, I would just kind of get a hold of them and just make sure that they know that this is going on in their city. That van, we've seen it in the past. Sometimes these pursuits, they pick up a pattern, and then they just kind of drive around in these areas. This one just continues on. We haven't seen him make a turn through the same neighborhood twice, but parking lots, that's seems to be the spot that this van really likes. And every time this happens, my blood runs cold. You've got people walking down there, and again, you just don't expect somebody going 30, 40 miles an hour when you just parked your vehicle and you're walking into a store or coming out of a store and going back to your vehicle. Hopefully it's going to pop out. There it is, right out the other side. But this van continuing on this morning, and again, we heard the Sheriff's Department talk about it, calling it a female driver, and also we heard that Gigi say it as well. This is an interesting one. Into a loading dock area. I'm going to have to work with Mike a little bit. You keep coming to the right. Keep coming to the right. And it looks like deputies are running up to the van, just trying to get that door open. That's really what we need to see. Not even that person running into this building out here. We'll get that address for you, but thank goodness this thing is coming to an end right now. That van stopping and that driver running inside that building. We'll see if we can get a little bit lower and perhaps look inside that warehouse, see what we can see. But look at the number of deputies. And again, this is not an over response at all. And I'm going to just kind of make sure that they don't come running out the back. I have a feeling this person does not know this building. This was just a random stop. And let's see if we can see inside. But right now, we know those deputies ran in there. Let's see if there's a back door or something where this person's coming out. And I'm sure that the officers are concerned about other vehicles in the area, maybe another delivery van. We don't want to see any kind of carjacking. But right now, I'm listening to hear them say if this person is in custody. I have not heard that yet.
Not to mention,
walking out.
Yeah, not to mention the employees in that facility right there, that warehouse where it looks like there's a lot of merchandise inside. But you're looking at the end of a pursuit right here at Bickett Street at East 54th in Southgate, East LA, where sheriff deputies have been in pursuit since 9:45, pursuing this white van you see parked there, and the suspect, a female driver who is apparently intoxicated, running into that warehouse, and deputies on alert, going inside, trying to detain that person who is wanted for hitting a number of vehicles, including a sheriff's deputy, intentionally, it looks like, in all of this. And of course, we'll stay on top of this. But for now, let's go to break. What happens? Hopefully, sheriff deputies are inside and can take this person into custody. Stu, what do we know?
We don't know that yet. That's what I'm still listening to. I haven't heard the words code 4. You see some deputies getting out of that, walking out of there, and they are checking that van. This is the standard procedure out here. They're going to pop the doors, make sure that there's nobody inside that van other than that driver. My pause right there is I'm listening to the scanner. I want to hear if the deputies say they have this person into custody. I just heard some deputies very out of breath.
Okay, Stu, why don't you take a listen? While you do that, we're going to check in with Gigi. As we're watching, it looks like employees evacuating this warehouse, whatever this business is. They're walking out right now. So, Gigi, what do we know? What are you hearing?
Roxia, we're also hearing code 4 that the suspect is in custody. Now, what you're watching live right now is the LA County Sheriff's Department clearing that white transit van that was involved in a hit and run, and that's how this all started in the downtown East Los Angeles area. The suspect is believed to be a female. She ran into this building almost as if she knew where she was going. You've seen now this appears to be a laboratory facility. You see everyone in their white coats, a medical facility being cleared, being evacuated from the building. Unclear if that suspect is going to need some kind of medical attention. It is normal to call an ambulance to have suspects checked out. An ambulance has been called for an LA County Sheriff's Deputy. And there is what appears to be the suspect. And look, it is a man. After believing the suspect leading them on the pursuit was a woman, it now believes that the suspect is a man. And you see him there, his shirt half off, and unclear what they're doing right now. They're taking off his jewelry right now, standard procedure. They're checking his pockets for any possible weapons. Again, this man wanted originally for suspicion of driving under the influence and a hit and run where he did not stop to help the parties or to exchange information. He led the Sheriff's Department on a pursuit that lasted well over half an hour on the freeway, off the freeway, through the streets of downtown Los Angeles and East LA. And you see him there. The pursuit comes, thankfully, to a safe ending, although it's important to note several vehicles were hit along the way, and that deputy was involved in some kind of an incident that required an ambulance to check them out. So we'll still get an update from the Sheriff's Department. Stu and Sky Fox, Stu Mandela above it all. This is Fox 11. Good day, LA. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, Gigi, thank you to you for all of the information. Stu, as well to you and the crew there keeping up with the suspect. Now we know it was a male driver, appears to be under the influence, and this all began as a hit and run out of East LA, coming to an end here at this warehouse, which is a tea facility, yes?
Yeah, Japanese Takaokaya green tea facility. Obviously, those workers unsuspecting of all of this and now disrupted, but clearly good news that the suspect is detained.